Such an honor to have you here. Thank you so much, guys, for being here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I love that intro. Thank you.
Yeah, that was great.
Very
You guys are awesome. Thank you. Now, we've got a lot to talk about, exciting weekend coming ahead. We have got a lot of stuff to talk about. But before we get to any of that, first of all, we've got to address the elephant in the room. Ever since our fans, that's right. Ever since our fans, our audience got to know that you're going to be here, they've been wanting to ask you that between the two of you, who's got the better hair?
Yeah, I gotta get.
And he looked at me, so you know it's true.
I want to say it's me, but I'm going through a transition, brother.
Okay, so who's got the better looks?
Me.
No, that's also me.
Okay, if you saw his Instagram post from yesterday, it's him.
Okay, all right, I like it. Okay, you guys agree here. That's nice.
Right.
So
we get along very well.
I love that. Which one of you is the most spectacular?
Oh man, I got the confidence is just dripping from me. I have to say it's me.
We are both very spectacular. I'm gonna give him one though.
I love that. No, you guys, I totally agree. You guys are indeed very, very spectacular, and so many reasons behind it. Your talent, the skills, the looks you possess, but most importantly, your not so secret weapon. I mean, we already know it, Rush. Your Chemical X, the greatest weapon in your arsenal is your big brother Rolando, right? That's your greatest weapon.
Speaking of Rolando, where's Rolando at?
I thought he'd be back here by now.
Big brother?
He went to the gym. He went to get some food. More drinks some fish. Tell where he is.
He got lost on the way.
We know how Rolando is. He's a ladies' man. You guys are in New Orleans right now. He must be out somewhere on a date. You never know, right?
Rats.
He's down in the French quarters right now.
That's right. So, but when you talk about you, Brady, do you also have any secret weapon, any secret brother that we don't know about just yet?
Well, sometimes we can't disclose that information.
You never know.
You never know what's liable to pop up in the NWA, so I'm not going to say no, but I'm not going to say yes either.
Okay, I like that. But of course, the greatest weapons that you guys possess they are each other, right? You guys are the greatest weapons of each other. The Spectacular is indeed a spectacular team, but it wasn't supposed to be. I mean, Rush, you were a proud member of the Ill Begotten, and Brady, they wanted you as well. So had it not been for Brady sticking up for you, Rush, what would you have done after getting fired from the Ill Begotten? Would you have gone down a solo path in the NWA?
And I appreciate you knowing your history. I just want to start with that. But yes, after parting ways with them, I don't know what would have happened. When I came into the company, I was just trying to find myself. I really didn't know who I was, but I knew I wanted to make a name for myself, assert dominance, and I probably would have just been out there trying to do that again. You've seen it with other guys, like we had Odinson and Pero, he's out doing other adventures now, and Odinson's here on his own, and he's doing the same thing. He's trying to figure out who he is outside of the tag team division, so that's probably what happened to me. But luckily, I had Brady here, who just came in, and we developed a great relationship, such good friendship, and we've got a lot going on for us now.
Yeah, I took a liking to Rush immediately, even when he was in the Ill Begotten. I was watching all of his matches, and I seen just the pure talent, the untapped talent that you guys haven't even seen yet. I mean, this guy's just getting started.
Wow. Very excited about what the future holds. But Brady, the Ill Begotten, by the time you were about to get in there, was quite a solid tag team. Already cemented itself as one of the greatest currently in the NWA. So do you have any regrets about not joining the Ill Begotten at all?
No regrets whatsoever. So I'm a Southern man, and I think your values are held by what another man tells you, right? Yeah. So if someone lies to me straight to my face, how could I ever trust that? How could there ever be a future with that? Right. That's exactly what happened. So, here we are, and I don't regret the decision whatsoever.
I absolutely respect that. Now let's talk about the idea behind the Spectaculars a little bit. Who came up with the bow ties?
Oh gosh, that was definitely of both of us. See, I was always a huge fan of the NWA growing up. My dad taught me the history behind the NWA and the history of professional wrestling, and because he was always a professional wrestling fan as well, so I was lucky enough to have that upbringing. And some of my favorites were like the Fantastics, the Freebirds, and just that flamboyant style of doing things. And so I pitched to Rush. I'm like, we kind of need to take this idea and make it our own. And so I saw him, like, pictures, whatever. And I'm like, I'm thinking this. And, like, as we continue to grow, we'll change and twist and become the Spectaculars off of, the things that happened in the past and tag teams that were in the past, and make the old new again.
Mhm. Yeah.
I absolutely love that. Yeah. I mean, you guys look great. No matter you're wearing a shirt or not a shirt, you guys rock like nobody else. I love that. And what about the name Spectaculars? Who was the one behind that name?
That was Freeman.
Well, no, this was a fun story. Like, we were trying to come up with our name. We had to have something that was just kind of embracing of what those, they had the Fabulous Ones, they had, Fantastics. We were trying to think of something that just kind of like could fit in that same category, and this really clicked like minutes before we went out for our first match, like right up. And I don't remember who, even just a random person in the back was like, "What about Spectaculars?" And we're like, "Perfect." I think we had like another synonym for it, but I can't think what it was right now. And we're like, "That sounds better. Yeah, let's go." All right, out the curtain.
Yeah, it happened that quickly.
That is so awesome. That almost reminds me of, the first Spider-Man film that came out before he was about to go out and fight, Macho Man. Yeah, the human Spider. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, that's really what it was.
I love that. On that note, who is your favorite Spider-Man, guys? Random question, but we got to talk about it.
Yeah, yes. Go ahead, because I could talk a lot longer than you on this.
No, by all means. If you have...
Oh, okay. So Spider-Man was one of my favorites. I don't know why, but I've had so many dreams as a little kid, probably as an adult too, of actually being able to shoot webs and shit. And anyway, I just watched the brand new No Way Home movie just like literally 2 days ago. I think it was like 4 times I've seen it. And picking my favorite, I gotta say the new version of the Green Goblin, just how much of a heel he is in this new movie. I love it because I always liked Green Goblin as a kid, but he's just I hated him. If you've seen the movie, you just know how good of a character he was. So yeah, I gotta say the new Green Goblin.
That's great. So I'm honestly not a huge fan of Spider-Man. I'm a huge fan. Now, don't look at me that way. Okay, look. I'm obviously biased, right? I'm a Thor guy. Okay, I like it. Right. So that's like the Chris Hemsworth, the Thor movies, and all that stuff. Like, that's what I'm drawn to. Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen every Spider-Man there is, but I can't really choose my favorite.
I love that. It's funny you say you're a Thor guy. You look much like Thor yourself. I wouldn't be surprised if you're like the Thor in the future. Something.
So I get that all the time. I make this joke all the time. But if there was someone standing at the door when I walked out every morning, and one morning they go, "Okay, are you going to get called Thor today?" and it's a life or death situation, I would take being called Thor every day of the week.
I love that.
I look like Taylor Lautner from Twilight. That's what I've been doing my whole life. I'm a werewolf.
You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. But the way Rush looked at you when you said you're not a Spider-Man fan, I felt like that was the beginning. That was the beginning of the split of Spectacular.
Yeah, that's the beginning of the turn, right? Yeah.
That's it.
What do you mean you don't like Spider-Man? I like Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong. It's just not my favorite.
Coming back to the topic of Rolando, Rush, growing up with a brother as charming, handsome, attractive, and a total ladies' man, such as Rolando, did you ever feel jealous, insecure, any of that?
Man, what can I say?
Yeah,
like it was like,
of course he
yes,
did.
But at the same time,
I
I
can't compete with Rolando.
If he was around, it was like having 2 male genitalias. No one could mess with you. Like, no one's gonna mess with me when Rolando's around. That's the best way to describe it.
I like that. What about you, Brady? How do you feel about sharing the ring, sharing the spotlight with Rolando?
It's great. I love the guy. He's a star. He is truly a star in every sense of the word, and I will stand by that as long as I know the guy.
Love it. Tight-knit family right here. I love it. Now, I've heard a story of yours, Rush, from grade 8, when your big brother defended you from a bully who has now grown up to be Jay Bradley. Funny enough, Jay was also the guy who beat Brady in his NWA debut match. So
I had to touch on that one.
It all comes full circle. So November 12th at NWA Hard Times 3, you both have an opportunity to get back at Jay and take away the United States Tag Team titles away from the Fixers. How confident do you guys feel heading into this match?
Very confident. I think the biggest thing right now is getting the respect of the Fixers, because As I said before, they're not taking us seriously. They're not. And, it's not at fault of the fixers. You can't blame them because we are a relatively new tag team, correct? And, they don't know much about us. But here's the thing. We know a lot about the fixers. And I know what my background entails. Rush knows what his background entails. And when combining those two together on a stage like NWA Hard Times 3 in New Orleans, we're going to let everything at the fixers. We're going to give it our heart and souls and leave it all on the line and all on the table. And by the end of the night, whether we walk out as the U.S. Tag Team Champions or we lose, one thing is for certain. We will gain the respect of the fans around the world and the fixers.
Love that. I love it. Now, on last week's episode of NWA Power, you guys defeated the Cardona family. Now, in addition to that rival, that itself, the rivalry that Rolando already has with Matt Cardona, are you guys concerned that the Cardona family or Matt Cardona might actually make it a point to cost you guys the tag team titles at Hard Times 3?
I hadn't considered that.
Well, no, I'd be lying if I said I haven't considered that. I could very well see that being a possibility of that happening, but like I said, we have to be ready for all things and all costs, because I do believe we're at a point where we do kind of have a target on our back right now, especially with Rolando beating the Cardona family. So I do think that is a potential possibility, but like I said, what can you do?
Yeah.
But be ready for it.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of Hard Times, 37 years ago in 1985, the legendary Dusty Rhodes cut the very memorable and much cherished Hard Times promo.
All times, baby.
That's right. And so, since you guys are soon going to be a part of this upcoming huge pay-per-view, it is only fair that I ask both of you to cut a promo on Hard Times right here, right now. So let's do it. Let's do it. So, Rush, Brady, what do you both know about Hard Times?
Brother, you want to talk hard times. It doesn't get more hard than the things that I've had to go through as a person in life. Now, a lot of the things I've brought on myself from poor decisions and poor judgment, but I try to overcome. I try to endure. I'll try to work my hardest every day just to get out of the situations I've put myself into, climb my way out of the rut just to find myself into another one. And when you finally get an opportunity like we have this Saturday at Hard Times 3, to finally just put that gold in my hands and look at it and know that I've just worked so hard my entire life and gone through so much adversity and so many things, just to be able to be where I am and look and know like it was actually worth it. Something good came out of it. That's when you know the hard times have actually paid off and you've actually made it mean something.
Yeah. Hard Times is being passed on for 10 years. No after no after no, until finally you get that one yes to prove yourself to the world of who you really are. And that's exactly what myself and Rush Freeman are getting at Hard Times 3 in New Orleans against the Fixers. This is a big match feel, right? This is for the United States Tag Team Championships on a huge pay-per-view. We are going to New Orleans to prove to the world what we already know. And that is we're going to go in and become the new United States Tag Team Champions.
Goosebumps. I've got goosebumps right now. Cannot wait for that. But just like you said, it is all for the NWA United States Tag Team Championship, a title that Billy Corgan recently revived after nearly 5 years. The title has a very rich history. Some of the teams that have held this championship in its various forms in the past include the Midnight Express, the Steiner Brothers, and also the fabulous Freebirds. So if you become champion November 12th, where do you think you will rank in this list of teams that have held this very prestigious title in the past?
Well, I don't think you can. I don't think you can put a rank on that. I think. That's a hard question to answer because I would never rank myself to the point where I'm saying I am on the same level as those guys, because truly I don't feel anyone could ever top that. Right? It's history. It's wrestling history. And I think everybody in this business today respects everyone who came before them, or they should, right? So I cannot put a rank on that. All I can say is that we will become the best of today's version and hold those titles to the respect and dignity that they deserve.
I love that. Rush, do you agree with that answer?
I agree completely. And, you can't put a numerical value on the ranking of it, like you said, but it'll be nice to be able to just think of ourselves as part of the brotherhood of all these men that have been U.S. Tag Team Champions in the past. It'll be nice to be, just
Considered, like just
right along with them.
right
like,
there with them.
We may not be we're new, they're there. Like, we look up to them so much, but it's nice to be in the same conversation.
I love that. If the fans were already over on the fence between you guys and the Cardona family, after this answer, they should know who to support because you guys are humble and you guys are hungry. The Cardonas, they're cocky. And yeah, they should definitely support you. I love that. Now, at Hard Times 3, in addition to your tag team title match, La Rebellion is also taking on the Hawks Airy for the NWA World Tag Team titles. Which team do you think is winning that match?
I have to go with Hawks and Aries. They
Okay.
are the hometown. They are for the hometown. They are in New Orleans, their hometown, and I believe the atmosphere when those guys walk out of there is going to be like no other. And I think I have to give it to Hawks and Aries because that is going to be electrifying in there.
They've worked so hard since they first got into the NWA. They've worked hard all throughout their whole career. Luke Hawks has such an amazing storied career. I didn't know so much about him until I just started doing my research, and he has done so much, and he deserves to be in this picture. His son deserves to be in this picture. And just think, have a father-son tag team championship team.
I love it.
Yeah, and we're not taking anything from La Rebellion. They're going to give up a big fight too. But if I have to choose a team that will walk out victorious, it's Hawks and Aries.
Yep.
I love that. So if you guys become champions November 12th, would you like to take on the World Tag Team Champions, possibly unify the titles in the future?
That would be wonderful. I think that's always a possibility. Whether it be La Rebellion or Hawks and Aries, I think we could give either one of those teams a great fight. And, who knows? Who knows what can happen? This is the NWA.
That's right.
Things are always progressing in ways that you could only imagine. So never rule that out.
One thing about us is we honestly believe we want to be the best
Yeah.
best version of ourselves, best we can be, best tag teams. So put us up against the best.
I love that. Now, NWA Hard Times 3 is undeniably a jam-packed show, a star-studded show, but one person who will be missing from this show, and possibly any future shows, is the talented and graceful Terran Terrell. She recently announced her retirement from pro wrestling, having shared the locker room with Taryn. Do you guys have anything to say about her, her departure?
Yeah, I've got a long history of Taryn Terrell. It was a fun story. I snuck backstage when I was like 17 years old at a SmackDown, and I got kicked out by Edge in the Big Show. But on my way out, she was trying to find her way out, and I was like, "Ma'am, you need help? I'll help you out." And so, little 17-year-old, competent, spectacular Rush Freeman talked to Taryn Terrell, and I walked her right through the general admission area and walked her right out the front door and helped her leave. And anyway, over 10 years later, her and I are friends, and I brought that story up to her, and she remembers it. And she was like, "Yeah, of course I went with you. I thought you were this confident kid. I thought you maybe your dad worked there or something." But her and I hit it off really well. We've got such a good friendship here, and I look forward to seeing her every single time. I was actually really sad to see that she's putting in her notice, so to say, and leaving the company, because it really is good to see her every time we come to these shows. She lights up the room. I cannot tell you how much I love her promos. Hearing her get out there and say bye, like stretch that all across the building, she's my favorite, and it's really sad to see her go.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she is.
Sorry about that.
I actually got the honor to work with her on a TV show about a year or so back, and that's where I first met her. And when I came to NWA and to learn that I was going to be working alongside with her again, I was ecstatic to be able to do so. So to find out that she's giving it up and retiring is very sad for sure.
It is sad. It's sad. We're definitely going to be missing her. Well, that's excellent stories that you just shared just right there. But Rush, I've heard something about you and her spray tan. What is the story about you and her spray tans now?
Oh, my spray tan with Taryn?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm a very dark man, and sometimes I don't take my tanning as serious as I should. And so there was a show I was at, and I was like, "Oh no, I need some spray tan," and it was like too late to run anywhere. And I just thought, like, of all the people I can ask here, who's somebody? I was like, Taryn. And so I went straight to Taryn. I was like, "Hey, can I borrow your spray tan?" And she was like, how'd you know I have this? Like, yeah, okay. So she gives me this thing of like sexy legs or something.
Oh,
And
yeah. I have a story about that as well. It doesn't involve Taryn,
yeah.
but so one of the previous tapings we were doing, I was looking for some spray tan too, and he came up to me and Rush was like, "Hey, I got some good stuff right here, right?" And he showed it to me, and I'm like, okay, right. So I'm like, we'll give it a shot. Well, this
I've
dude,
never used
he
this shit
literally,
before.
he had sworn up and down to me like, "Oh, it's so good. Like, we're gonna put it on there." The messiest stuff you have ever used in your life. Like I had, like not only was I tan, but my gear was tan. Like I had orange stuff all over my gear. It messed up like my knee pads and my boots, and I was just sweating it everywhere. And I'm like, never again, Freeman, never again.
Sorry.
But you know what's funny about it is that like I was,
Sorry,
bro. What's funny about it is that I was worried that, like, for TV purposes, like, I'm going to look streaky in the ring. I went back and watched it later. I look magnificent. It's like, in person, I was, like, freaking out. But then I was dark. I was very dark.
Wow. I love that. And you're still a tag team after that. So that tells me that is a
right.
lot. Well, you guys have got the greatest of stories. You know, maybe one day on the NWA, we could see a segment known as Spectacular Stories. You never know. I'd like that.
Oh, that's a very good.
That'd be better than some of the other segments we've got to watch.
Oh, yeah. A lot better. That's for sure. I love
hey, that's a good point.
I'm going to pitch that to Billy. I'll tell him you said it.
That's right. Let's make it happen. Now, Hard Times 3, of course, just like we talked about, jam-packed, star-studded, incredible, match card with Trevor Murdoch defending his title against Matt Cardona and Tyrus Camille defending her title against Colin King, Chelsea Green, triple threat matches, huge matches. Of course, your own United States Tag Team title match, big matches happening, EC3, Dave Richards, everybody on the card. It's incredible. Apart from your own match, what other match on the card are you looking forward to the most yourself?
I would have to say the Hawks and Aron Lava Rebellion for the tag team championships, and then the main event, of course. That's going to be a really good match, and I'm definitely looking forward to both of those.
Yeah, I'd have to say the main event. I'd like to say Camille's match, but Camille's the one-time champ. She's always going to be the one-time champ. She's never going to lose it. So I don't have to worry about that.
So it's kind of almost the outcome of that one.
Yeah, we just know Camille's never going to lose. She's the best in the world, and I will die by that. But we have no idea what's going to happen in this main event.
Rolando has time and time again said that he will be the next world champion. He's not interfering in that main event, is he?
Well, I'm not going to tell you the damn thing about Rolando. We'll let him do his stuff.
Rolando is a man of his own, and as little as time as I've known him, you can't tell him anything, right?
That's right.
He is one of a kind. You can give him advice, but he's not going to listen to you. He's going to do what Rolando wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
We can tell him to stay out of the main event. We don't know. We don't know what he's going to do.
Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. NWA Hard Times 3, streaming live November 12th, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Fight TV. Very excited about this whole show. I think it's going to be absolutely incredible. And I want to wish you guys good luck for your match against the Fixers. And I know that you guys are walking out the new United States Tag Team Champions.
Awesome.
I believe it.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Now, one last question before I let you go. Since the show is taking place in New Orleans, the party capital of the world, how do you guys plan on celebrating your championship victory after you defeat the Fixers at NWA Hard Times 3?
We were going down to Bourbon Street and celebrating only the way we know how.
Yeah, we're going to party like it's some other year.
Oh, heck yeah. I love that. Thank you guys so much once again for being here. The next time we talk, I'm sure you guys will be wearing those championship belts around your shoulders.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we appreciate the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and I look forward to speaking with you again. Thank you.